Good evening, America, and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. It's 9 p.m., baby, Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. Take that in. Yes, I said 2022. And I am your anchor, Faye. What? So let's start by meeting tonight's hosts. Let's welcome Jeff Oliverio. He is a founding member and treasurer of the Hollywood LGBTQ Plus Council, a unique community civic organization designed to unite the LGBTQ community in Greater Hollywood. The council will be hosting the inaugural My Hollywood Pride coming up real soon, and you also have the flag raising coming up as well, right, Jeff?
We're having a flag raising. We're having a brunch to celebrate our 100 score in the Municipal Quality Index that day. We are having live entertainment. We're having a youth zone. So come out January 22nd, 2022, downtown Hollywood.
Oh, and you have one of my favorite women from The Voice, Karina Iglesias.
Karina Iglesias.
Be, like, throwing it down, so make sure that you mark your calendar. I'll be there. A bunch of the crew here will also be there, so get on down there. Next, let's welcome Max Fenning. He's the founder and current president of PRISM FL Inc., a nonprofit organization that works to expand access to LGBTQ plus inclusive education and sexual health resources for LGBTQ plus youth in South Florida. What's up, Max? Welcome back, my boy.
I am happy to be here in the new year. It's gonna be a spectacular one. At least I hope.
Any resolutions for the new year?
You know, whenever I set a goal, I just do it. I don't need to wait until January 1st for that.
All right, I officially don't like you. Next up, let's welcome my friend, Mr. Cal Gajraj. Cal is a communications executive and adjunct professor. No, that does not mean he's a professor that has good junk, okay? I had to find out myself. Anyway, good evening, Cal. How are you, Papa?
Good evening, Happy New Year. Happy to be back.
How do you feel, man? All that break, did you have a good break?
I did. I was off for 2 weeks. It was really nice.
And I noticed that you don't have like any kind of tan. Like you're constantly traveling the world. Like I want to be Cal when I grow up. And you didn't go anywhere during the holidays?
Let's see. People pay for this complexion, first of all.
Yeah.
But no, I stayed home for the holidays this year.
I love it. Yeah. Next, let's welcome Glenn Weinzimmer. Glenn is the founder of the Smart Ride and owner of Bona Restaurant. I love Bona. They have the best lasagna and their garlic rolls. Mic drop. What's up, Glenn? How are you, my friend?
Those garlic rolls. I've gotten over everything else in the restaurant, but if there's a burnt piece of bread and some garlic, I'm all over it. I absolutely love it.
And that garlic and olive oil that's the bottom when you're done, I put that on my wife and
I don't want to know any more about that.
There, all right.
Yeah, but it's
wow,
right.
It's good.
Okay then.
There's a lot.
I'll leave that for the Faye What Show coming up next week. All right. Thank you, Glenn, for being here. So, good evening, America. We are the first and most popular live LGBTQ plus talk show in the world. So much to talk about next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
I'm Faye What, and Mr. Al Ferguson will be back with you next Wednesday right here. I know you're missing him a little bit, right? Yeah, well, I miss him a lot. He might just be in the trunk of my car. I'm not sure. I might go have to check that out. So you are watching a live and unedited LGBTQ plus talk show. So anything can happen, and it usually does. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and click for the bell for updates. On Facebook, like and share the video. So let's begin with a unique meme of the week. It's called When Bottoms Ask to Top to Start. Wait, when bottoms ask to the top to start slowly. Oh, geez, I just saw the meme. Oh, wow, that looks painful. Yeah. Is that something that you have to tell bottoms? You guys have to tell the tops to like start slowly? Is that something that happens?
You just push your arms out like this and like, whoa, slow down.
I'm not 20 years old anymore, so you have to tell them in advance. Give them instructions.
Do a red light, green light, yellow light, slow down.
Breathe.
Oh my God! Wow. All right. Okay. It's happening. Woo, right. Like, everybody else got like was like a little trauma. You can tell that like Glenn had like he has like PTSD
cold
from like
sweat.
sometimes something happened to him. He was like,
But
woo.
he was still smiling through the whole thing.
Yes, he was. It's Happening Out is part of the partnership between the Happening Out television network and Hotspots magazine. Hotspots is celebrating 36 years of the LGBTQ plus experience, and together we bring you the best of LGBTQ plus news, entertainment, and support of our LGBTQ plus community. So who needs a drink? Come on. The more you drink, the prettier I get. Yeah. Okay, for all my people, okay, it's water, okay? Stop sending me those hate mails, the hate emails that I get. You're drinking again? Those crazy gay boys made you drink? Mine is water. Everybody else is drinking booze because, hey, the more they drink, the funner this game goes, all right? So let's...
Yeah, I was gonna say for legal reasons, mine's also water.
For legal reasons, and because he drank too much yesterday, Max will not be drinking alcohol either. All right,
Right.
all right. And Jeff won't be drinking alcohol because he's pregnant. All right, so let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. We invite you at home to play along. Get that big ass cup, throw a bunch of vodka in there, and let's play. All right, so I will ask our hosts 4 questions. If they agree with the question, they take the shot, right? Disagree? It's gonna be a very long night for everybody, including me, if they're not drinking. So, you guys ready to play I'd Swallow That?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, question number 1. So, New Year's resolutions are a fantastic way to improve yourself. Question number 1, I'd swallow that. I've already broken all my resolutions, and it's only the 5th of January.
I actually didn't make any resolutions this year. It was kind of weird because I stayed home for New Year's and I didn't go out. So I was just with me, my dog, and Ryan Seacrest, and that was it.
That sounds like a fun time.
Oh, it was a great night.
I made the same resolution every year for the last 7 years, and I've never broken it. It was to not walk inside of a gym. And I've managed, as often as I've been tempted, just not do it. I got there and the door was closed. That was an excuse enough not to go through.
Listen.
I think coming out of 2021, it was hard enough. So the resolution is just to not be so hard on ourselves and to enjoy 2022 as best as possible. So that's what I did on New Year's Day, was I went out and had a good day.
No, and that's awesome. That's what I did on New Year's Day too. I went to the zoo because I wanted to do something outdoorsy, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make intentions, not make resolutions, because then I beat myself up for it. Like Glenn, every year I'm gonna work out, bitch, please, you know. And I've got that, and I pay the subscription. I don't know why. I pay it every month to LA Fitness. Hi guys, have you guys ever seen my big brown ass in there? No, and you probably never will. So I'm not gonna put that resolution out there. Just saying. Question number 2. 2021 was a mess. 2022 better not be 2020.20. Question number 2, so I'd swallow that. I have hopes that 2022 is going to be a great year. What do you boys think?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to wish it too much, but I feel like last year we wished that and it didn't turn out so well at least for COVID. So let's hope that we just have a positive year for the community and, no more pandemic to deal with.
Was anybody else afraid like Jeff was? Because I have to like co-sign on there. Like, because I remember at the end of 2020, we were like, 2021 is going to be the best year ever. This bitch got cancer. Everybody got freaking COVID. It was a crappy year, you know?
No, I remember-
An insurrection.
I remember there were a bunch of memes, and they were like, all through December, and they were like, when the clock strikes midnight, and then it's just like 2020. It's just like 2020, and then just like at 12:01 instead of 11:59, and it feels like that's how it went. Like it feels like it's just all
Groundhog
one
Day.
long 2020. So.
Yeah.
And remember, we had like month after month, we had something that was going on. And to me, last year went by super fast. So now I hope that, 2022, I'm manifesting, all the good things.
Yeah, and I think I agree with Jeff earlier. Be kind to ourselves. Be kind to each other. Everyone's going through this together, and it is rough on a lot of people. Everyone handles it differently, and just know what your stress level is and find ways to make you feel better about yourself. And don't go to the gym.
Don't go to the gym. Don't go to the gym. And on that note, so the holidays are a tough time for a lot of people in our community. A lot of people in the LGBTQ community, it's tough, A lot of us don't have our family. A lot of people are shunned from their family, haven't gotten their chosen family together yet. So question number 3, I'd swallow that. I had a great holiday break with my family, chosen or by blood.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Yes.
Cheers.
Woo. Yeah, it was great to be with family this year. I think the year before you kind of felt guilty because, again, even though we were still dealing with Omicron, at least we were all vaccinated. The year before, we really had to, be so cautious. And so it kind of felt just a little bit more like normal, even though we were still faced with this pandemic.
I think it was kind of scary that we actually normalized this craziness. Yeah. And we're able to go through the holidays and understand we may get sick or we may infect somebody, but I think because most of us have gotten the vaccine, that we felt like they weren't going to die. They're just going to get sick.
It was, yeah, and I get what you're saying, Glenn. Like, maybe not normalized because this shit is not normal, okay? But like this could have been our third holiday without our friends and family,
right?
And it was looking that way with this new variant. And for some people, it was like, okay, hell no, I'm going to cancel everything. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to fly. And for others, it was like, no, man, I can't. Like, I can't live in fear and be home another holiday.
Well, it's also this roller coaster that we've been on because you think just a month earlier, everything seemed to be normal for whatever the new normal is. I mean, we did our bike ride, and that was a period of a month where there was really nothing to be afraid of, it seemed. And then all of a sudden we find ourselves Delta right after that, and now Omicron. So
right, and I got boosted right before I went to visit family. So the first day I was out, I just slept through the whole first day of that vacation, and but I'm glad that I'm trying to do my part.
Yeah, you got to do your part. Yeah. So it's the first episode of It's Happening Out in 2022. But is someone missing?
No.
I don't know, right? It doesn't feel anything.
I don't
feel an empty hole.
I don't think so.
Right?
Yeah.
Question number 4. I'd swallow that. I miss Al. Kind of.
I miss Al.
With the
I'm drinking up because I want my job.
Cheers to you.
We just agreed to be nicer for 2022, so I'll drink to that.
Right.
The more I drink, the more I miss out.
The more you drink. Yeah, okay. So Glenn says the more he drinks.
His Northern Exposure tour is almost over, right?
I miss Al a lot. Okay, Al's one of my best friends, and even though he's got white privilege written all over him, literally, he is just an incredible ally to everybody else. He is constantly trying to learn about the rest of the letters in our acronym. And he's learned a lot. He didn't believe in bisexuality. We had to have long conversations on that. Now he's halfway there.
And he doesn't have a flip phone anymore.
And he doesn't have a flip phone, but he's got like an iPhone 5. And I'm trying to tell him that that's not going to work anymore, like the BlackBerry,
It was shut down this week, right?
Yes, yeah. No more BlackBerry, people. Just saying. All right.
Okay, really?
Next up, let's consider the best thing of the week. So it's a video by one of our favorite online comedians. You guys know Michael Henry. He is just hysterical. He must get a lot of ass now because he's not the most good-looking guy, right? But he's funny as crap. So he's got to be getting laid for that. So here is the video. It's officially cutting season. Is that cuffing season? No, it's officially cuffing season. All right, watch this.
I have a lover right now.
Prove it.
How? Come in front of us.
Just show us a photo.
Okay. Ooh. What?
Yikes.
Wait, do you know him or something? No. What is it?
It's clearly cuffing season.
What does that mean?
When people couple up during the colder months and generally settle for somebody below their usual standards.
He's hot. Okay, I'm not settling.
Yeah, you're not.
No! Oh no! Are you saying?
Yep, enjoy it while it lasts.
He's gonna dump your ass the second spring break starts.
Oh, this is depressing.
No, I love cuffing season. I clean the up with the hotties.
Okay, well that sounds desperate and sad.
Whatever. Look at my guy.
Wow! What the heck? What in the world is he doing with you?
Because I'm here, I'm available, and I'm like a furnace at night.
What?
I give off a lot of body heat at night, and his pilot light is broken, so I'm basically heating up his entire apartment with my body.
Jeez.
And it's a 2-bedroom.
Well, I'm loving cuffing season too.
Okay, show us your man. Ooh. Woof. Oh.
What on earth would he want from you?
I'm here, I'm available, and my apartment has running water.
Does his not?
Nope. When I first met him, he was so dehydrated and he hadn't bathed in days. Now that he's my man, he's drinking Brita, baby.
Pathetic.
Whatever, you're gassing up your man's entire apartment.
I'm not gassing it up, I'm heating it up with my nude body heat. If I eat jalapenos before bedtime, the steam doubles.
And you're doing sex?
Extreme amounts. My man rides me like a Bowflex. I keep him hot and sweaty in that icebox of an apartment.
Okay, so Chad, what are you bringing to the table?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm available.
Okay.
And I have a brand new jacuzzi in my backyard.
That'll do it.
What are we gonna do when spring breaks over and we've all been dumped?
Start dating men that look more like us. I'm actually fine with that. I feel like I'm extremely hot.
Change your mind.
I have a brand new kajoozie in my backyard. And my apartment's right next to the biggest ice machine in the city. And I have a third nipple and he's obsessed with it. And I own the Abbey. And I won the lottery. In Canada. So there's no taxes.
I love him. He is just hysterical. And that guy in the middle looked like one of my first girlfriends, right? With the mullet and everything. Anyway, I'll leave that there.
Interesting haircut.
What did you guys think? Cuffing season, is that really a thing? Like, I'm from New York, and we would always make fun that you find a mate or you find somebody to sleep with right before the holidays because it's freaking cold, and you want somebody to snuggle up with, and you want someone that you'll be with to Valentine's Day, and then you get rid of them when it becomes nice, when the weather gets nice again. Is cuffing something that happens in gay boy world?
I mean, I think scrolling social media.
Really?
I don't know about on my end. I mean, this is the first time I've been single during Halloween and Thanksgiving.
Max, you're 4 years old.
And in 6 years. So since I was a little baby, right? And it's honestly the least problematic holiday season I've had. So I'm not complaining.
I've seen a lot of new relationships springing up on social media, so I think it's a thing. I mean, it's not my thing, but I think it's a thing.
Yeah, and I've seen it as well, especially, starting around Thanksgiving and everyone's getting into the holidays and, you start going to, family and friends for the holidays and holiday parties. So you always want someone to be with, take on these dates, and then you have Christmas and New Year. So yeah, it's definitely, I've met a few people the last couple of weeks.
So you would take someone to one of these parties that's beneath what you're usually into now?
Not necessarily beneath, but temporary.
Like, it's temporary.
Yeah.
Or it's like, okay, I'll deal with the fact that he only showers once a week because he's hot, and I'm only taking him to these 2 parties, and it's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
Huh, interesting. All right. Well, now let's move on to our segment, What's on Your Mind? Each host will tell us in just 30 seconds what is important to them this week. But remember, in just 30 seconds, or you'll hear the stupid-ass bell that Al left. He could have taken that with him. I hate that bell. Now you hate it too, right? All right. Okay, so let's begin. Jeff, we're going to start with you, Papa. What is on your mind today?
Well, I think the most thing that's on my mind, of course, is My Hollywood Pride coming up in January. We're super excited. This is the first time that Hollywood has had a Pride event, but also more importantly, it's a place to bring the community together in a city that has not had representation for LGBTQ plus people. So we are really excited. I hope that everyone out there who's listening to this and will come out, volunteer, join us, come see the entertainment, bring your friends, family, kids. We have a kids zone, but it's a really big honor to be able to throw this for the community. So we're really excited. So please join us.
Thank you. And I gave you more than 30 seconds because I'm super excited about My Hollywood Pride. I think it's going to be fantastic. And the thing that keeps on just putting a bigger smile on my face is what you're doing with the kids and with the teenagers. I mean, God, LGBTQ, there is no age limit. There's no boundary, So the fact that at most of these prides, you don't see a lot of family events going on inside. You said that you have drag queens reading to kids and stuff like that?
We're doing drag queen story time, and then we're also doing a drag queen Q&A for teens. So we have just a lot of really unique programming for everybody, really. So there's something for everybody. So if you want to drink and come out and listen to music, great. If you want to bring your kids and do face painting and coloring pride flags, come out. If you want to go see some LGBTQ plus, films, we have films playing in the theater in downtown Hollywood. There is a little bit for everyone.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Mr. Max, what is on your mind?
Might be cliche, but the new year. I know I talked a lot of smack about New Year's resolutions, but I think that having some sort of fresh start, really be able to hit the ground running this year. Prism has lots of spectacular things planned. on the internet and in front of your face. And I'm very excited for everything that we have in store for 2022.
Thank you, Max. And Mr. Cal, what is on your mind, sweetness?
So I'm super excited because it's the new year, which means it's my birthday month.
Whoop, whoop.
So this is a big birthday for me, so I'm super excited.
What's the big birthday?
30?
The big 40.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm only 33 on Grindr, but
Listen, and whatever you're on Grindr is reality, okay?
but yeah, it's the big
feel.
40th, and I'm really excited about it, and to celebrate with my family and friends throughout the month.
All right, party time. And last but definitely not least, my friend, Mr. Glenn, what's up? What's on your mind?
I've got two things on my mind. One is labor issues are a real issue. Our restaurant, we had to close this Monday because we just don't have enough staff. People are out sick. People are just quitting. People don't want to come to work. More importantly, the thing that I'm most excited about is this week is our give back for the Smart Ride. We give back all of our money this Sunday. Each one of the six benefiting agencies will all receive a portion of the funds raised from this November's bike ride. And we're going to be giving away $1.22 million to these agencies.
Incredible.
Super
Incredible.
exciting.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now, next up, let's catch up with the news from the world of entertainment, all right? Andy Cohen co-hosted CNN's New Year's Countdown with Anderson Cooper, and he was a bit of a drunken mess. Did you guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So much so that CNN insiders have complained that they were embarrassed to be part of the company. So our entertainment topic this week, when is the party too much? Andy Cohen, there was a rumor that he won't be invited back to host CNN. That rumor was squashed. They actually are going to invite him back to be part of it next year. But what do you think? When is it too much?
I think they gave him a lot of rope to hang himself.
Did
the
you
last
watch it,
couple of
Glenn? You
years.
saw it?
I did. And I've seen the last couple of years, and he does get drunk, and he really gets Anderson into trouble by pushing Anderson to drink. So I think that he just pushed the envelope as far as he thought he could do it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they still don't rein him back a little bit next year in order to be on the show.
I mean, I think it's one of those things where you kind of need to get bigger and bigger each year. And so I'm sure he felt the pressure and felt the alcohol. So, and, a lot of things he was saying were controversial, but it was the best commercial for CNN probably had in 10 years. That this news story has been in every single news feed that I've seen for the last week. So.
Well, did you guys watch back in the day when it was Anderson Cooper and Kathy Griffin?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good hosting job. I loved both of them. And then she had the picture with a severed head of Trump's head. And then she got canceled everywhere. And they took away this position also. And they gave it to Andy Cohen. Better job? You think he did a better job or he's done a better job?
I love Kathy, so I mean, I would love to have her back, but unfortunately, she's been canceled. But I think she deserves a comeback.
I think it's been fun and entertaining, but I think it's a little bit too much because you're still working. You're still on the
Yeah.
job. And business etiquette tells you, even when you're at a Christmas party for work or you're, at a boss's dinner, only have 2 drinks, know what your limit is. You're still at work. And he was still at work.
Yeah.
So to me, I actually felt bad for him, having worked in entertainment for so many years, because you become memes, you become, trending on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. And I mean, even though the publicity is great, but it's still embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, you guys all know that I'm in recovery, 7 years sober. And so back when in my radio and TV days, I would host New Year's Eve events effed up out of my mind, Mind you, this is work. Like Cal's saying, you're at work, even though it's New Year's Eve, So it's just one of those things where Andy was calling out Ryan Seacrest, okay, who was a host on another complete different show, and started talking about Democrats and Republicans and saying all kinds of crazy stuff, and they invited him back. So drink on the job. Why not? If it works for him, it could work for you.
Well, I still have 1 shot left. So
you better drink
you, Andy Cohen.
You better
Cheers, Andy.
Right.
before Glenn takes it from you. So that's our discussion on entertainment. Next, we report that Happening Out Television Network helps support our LGBTQ plus community. An example is Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church right here in Fort Lauderdale. We're broadcasting from our permanent set in supporting that partnership. The network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ plus religious broadcast in the world, with more than 30,000 watching every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's totally live. We encourage you to tune in. Our campaign of sponsorship proudly supports Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
everybody, my name is Eddie Marti Krang, and I'm your field and community organizer for SAVE, Safeguarding American Values for Everyone, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Oh, we love you, Eddie. You handsome man. You're going to take over the world. I know it. I love you. Happy New Year. All right, come back soon. Up next, if we were standing around the LGBTQ plus water cooler, this is what we would be all talking about. We refer to it as the hot topic of the week. So 2020 and 2021 were tough years because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Just as it seemed things would be getting back to normal, a new variant appeared. Now businesses, travel, and more are shutting down as workers are getting sick, like Glenn was just talking about. Our hot topic of the week, will we lose even more LGBTQ plus events as COVID gets bad again? What do you guys think?
Well, it is getting bad because even like I've shared before, I was home for the holidays and I had all of these events that were planned. I know that we had tickets to go see the Drag Christmas
Yes.
at Parker Playhouse, and that was canceled. Thankfully, I went to a Miami Heat game, but then the next Heat game got canceled. I went to opening night of Hairspray at the Art Center, but then the rest of the run got canceled. So events left and right are being canceled.
Yeah, and I was going to be actually part of the leadership cohort of the Creating Change conference in New Orleans this month, and unfortunately
it got canceled.
Did not get canceled. It's being postponed and moved virtually. Yeah, so which is very, very unfortunate.
I mean, I think it's a challenge for, again, obviously we're having an event coming up this month that's outdoors, so we know the majority of it is outdoors. But, you know, the reality is that, you know, we're kind of at a place in the pandemic, I think, that people have to decide, you know, who is in a place that they need to be safer than other people. And also, if you're vaccinated, of course, which, you know, I believe everyone should be vaccinated, you can, you know, safely, hopefully, know that you're not going to end up in a hospital or die. So, you know, I think it's a more of a personal choice period of the pandemic where, you know, we're going to have people that are going to decide to do things and some people that are going to decide, hey, I'm going to hold back. So I think everyone has their own decisions to make.
Yeah, but it's everything is affected. Everything just seems like it's like, where do we go from here? We're in fear to plan an event. You know, maybe another variant comes up and kicks our ass again. You know, do we stop being patient? Do we just say screw this and just like live our lives? I mean, you know, Glenn was talking about the labor shortage. All these restaurants, they're going through such tough times. You know, I went to Starbucks the other day on just like a regular time of day, and they were closed because they've had to change and cut back their hours because they don't have enough people to work. And people were like killing each other to go work at Starbucks before COVID. You know, that was a good job to have, you know. Do you think that we'll ever get back to normal, Glenn? How is it at the restaurant?
I mean, it's going to be rough, and I don't know how many of us are going to be able to survive this because there is not going to be more federal funding. There's not going to be another round of PPP. The federal government can't afford to do that, and would be too much backlash if they tried it. But small business, you know, we have the restaurant. It is rough right now. You have your good days, but then you have days where your labor is running you 70, 80, 90%, and you can't survive with that. So it's going to be interesting, you know, where we all stand personally. You know, like Jeff said, we have to make our own decisions. But for this variant, we can be a little bit, pardon me, cocky, because this one's just giving people a cold, a sore throat, and you're out for 5 to 10 days, and then you seem to be better. But who knows what the next variant is, whether it's going to be of the same caliber, or whether we're going to find ourselves where we were a year ago, where it was finding people in hospitals. I mean, who knows how long these vaccines are going to last?
Yeah.
Are we going to need boosters?
Another booster.
Yeah.
It's scary times. Let's put COVID aside for 1 second, Glenn. Why do you think that people don't want to come back to work?
That's a hard one. I really don't know. You know, I thought, and I could be wrong, that the extended unemployment insurance had wore off and people were going to be forced to go back to work, but somehow there just isn't this desire to go back to work, and then once they're there, they don't really want to be there. And that's another thing that's really interesting. People stay, but they stay for a short period of time and then just walk out. And I don't know if it's part because they can find a job real quickly if they do want to work. If they're not, you know, they're not committing themselves. You know, I don't know if it's a different work ethic, but when I grew up, if someone said to me, "You're going to work an extra hour," I thought to myself, "Ooh, another $2," because that's probably what it was an hour at that point. And I was happy to take the extra money, even for babysitting. I'd pray they wouldn't come home. But now, like, you can throw money at people, and they just don't want to show up.
Even in the corporate world, like we're hiring hundreds of new employees at my job, and we're actually offering higher than the state's minimum wage. But the first question everyone's asking is, can I work remote? No one wants to work in person anymore.
Wow.
And everyone's always, looking for remote work.
I've got a friend who started a new job with a sign-on bonus of thousands. I won't say how much, as long as she stays there for 60 days.
Yeah.
Right.
That's unheard of.
And we're seeing, we started seeing, what we call like the Great Resignation or like the Great Reshuffle, like before Omicron even really took hold. And there is a different sort of mentality around work, and I think this is especially present among younger people. A livable wage. A healthy work environment. Mental health is something that I know that people my age are really prioritizing in a workplace more than we've ever really seen. And it's really a matter of is this particular company, is this particular source of employment providing those in addition to obviously money.
I think that the pandemic obviously has changed the work environment. We have to realize we're coming at the cusp of a new century and all of that. And if you think about the history of our country and in the world, people moved from farms to cities, and now people are saying, I worked in a city and I worked in a big high rise, and now I'm like, I want to work in my house, and I want to do a side gig, or like Glenn, you have a lot of employees who are part-time or maybe college students or doing things as a side gig, and I was a waiter in college, and it was a hard job, but I can make good money. But if I could drive for 2 hours and drive Uber and not have to deal with people and carry food, maybe I'm doing that now, or maybe I'm selling crafts or jewelry on Etsy. I mean, there's a lot more ways that people are finding to cover their expenses. So I don't believe that people are just not working. I think they're just finding non-traditional ways, and the economy is changing, and we have to face that's the reality. People don't want to be work at Publix or do part-time jobs that people traditionally have done for many, many years.
But you take a look at, we found this out from the bike ride. Coca-Cola was short people to drive vehicles to do their bottling, and so the stores couldn't carry their product because Pepsi went ahead and hired 600 of Coca-Cola's employees, and I think they were paying them $15 or $20 more an hour to switch companies. So what happened to that other group that were working before? So they didn't just disappear. I can't believe all those truck drivers are now working for Etsy making macrame baskets for people at home. I don't understand where those people went to.
Right.
And a lot of them went to Amazon.
I mean, I think that the gig economy is a real thing, and it's really kicking up into high gear. We see more and more ways to do that, whether that be in a graphic design or a computer science sense, or like Uber Eats, Lyft, all of these different things. And now there's apps and websites where you can find a whole host of different types of gigs. It's like Angie's List, but there's so many more different types of it, right?
Well, and that's why let's, support local for all you people out there, okay? Support local. That is the way to go. That is something that you can have control over, A lot of these companies have different ways that they can subsidize the money that they're losing, but the small companies really can't. So those mom and pop places, go get your food from there and support them daily, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, next. Let's explore the LGBTQ plus world this week with the silly and important headlines in the LGBTQ plus news this week. A lightning round, though. Let's discuss them in our segment called Saved by the Bell. But of course, there's always a twist. Al has twists to everything, I swear. We are only going to discuss each headline for 1 minute, 60 seconds. At the end of the minute, you are going to hear... If I break the bell, if he comes back and there's no bell, right? Look, I'll put it in my.
That's stage dream, not having the bell.
What did you say, Matt?
I said that's like your dream come true to not have to deal with the sound of it all.
Bye to the bell. All right. 2021 was a dark time, but as it ended, a hero of white fought it to the death. Saved by the Bell headline number 1. Betty White takes down 2021 in epic final battle. What do you guys think?
She was so close to 100, and it's so sad. But also, she did us a service not having to have 2022 start off terrible.
That's what I thought too, Max. I totally thought okay, she just wanted to she wanted to just be the sprinkles on the shit cake. Excuse my French, for 2021, and not impose that into 2022.
Thanks, Betty, for lots of great memories. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for being a friend. And also to note that she actually lived through 24 leap years. so which gives her 24 extra days. So technically, she was 100 years old.
Really? Wow. And I also heard something about, according to the Jewish calendar, she would have also made it to 100 years old as well. January 17th, they're coming out with her documentary, and I had bought tickets for a friend before she passed away. A big, huge fan of Betty White and the Golden Girls. I had gotten her a ticket. They're only giving that documentary the day of her birthday. So look it up, because it's going to be probably, super epic. It has anything to do with Betty White. Of course, it's going to be dope. Next, so that moment when you're not included when celebrating your own creation. The TERF was expelled from Hogwarts. Saved by the Bell, headline number 2. HBO distances itself from J.K. Rowling for Harry Potter's 20th anniversary special. What do you guys think?
As they should. Oh my gosh. I mean, obviously, even if they did agree with those opinions, lots of other people don't, thankfully, and it would have been a bad money move for them to not do that. But I think, we saw, especially when the biggest turf in the headlines started being openly transphobic. We saw all of these actors start to distance themselves. We saw
Max. I missed my bell now that you're.
Oh right, I'm so sorry.
Ding 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 ding. Al, I know I'm going to hear it from you. I know. Next, one of the world's greatest equality activists passed away over the holiday. Saved by the Bell, headline number 3. The LGBTQ plus community remembers Desmond Tutu.
I feel like this headline missed a lot of the things with all of the holidays going on too. So it's good that we're bringing it up, because I think it's something the community needs to be aware of.
Mm-hmm. And I love the quote that he had about that he would rather go to hell than go to a homophobic heaven. I think that speaks leaps and bounds.
Yeah. Right, and we at a bare minimum, person put out an Instagram post just talking about the history of his life and all of the contributions that he's made, in ending the apartheid in South Africa and rallying against homophobia and all of that. So
absolutely,
Desmond Tutu will never be forgotten. Yeah. Next, Gavin Grimm Gavin Grimm fought the state of Virginia for his rights to use the men's room as a trans man. All the money he won went to legal fees. Saved by the Bell, headline number 4. Trans trailblazer fought for student rights, now facing homelessness. Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah, and this is actually upsetting, because I think it was $1.3 or $1.6 million in legal fees. And those attorneys should have done this pro bono.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pro bono work that's gone out there. And instead of collecting all this money, they should pay back, to him and to the community, these damages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the most frustrating part of this, is to see the amount that the legal is taking. And he got I think a significant sum of money, and it's all gone, and he gets none of it. And the fact that someone who fought as hard as he did for other people's rights could face homelessness, hopefully the community worldwide will come out and right there and donate towards him to get him back up on his feet.
I'm embarrassed to say that when I had read the story initially, I also thought that he was granted $1 million. So I was like, yes, finally. You know what, when I did some research, they had been battling this case for over 4 to 5 years. That's a long time. Yeah. He had gone through different legal folks that helped him with this, and now he's broke. I know that there's a GoFundMe page, so if you're thinking about him in any kind of way, send some money over there. There is no reason why a trailblazer like him, I mean, think about it. Think about the trailblazers in time. Rosa Parks, think about Stonewall. None of those people ended up with a shit ton of money because they did something, so big and so grand. Don't let this guy be out in the street alone and cold.
And attorneys, give some of that money back.
Yeah. Come on.
He shouldn't have to face homelessness for doing the right thing.
Move over Bitcoin. Yeah, Dogecoin and Ethereum. The homos are taking over crypto.
Boy.
Jeff, what are you doing?
Oh, boy.
What are you doing? Saved by the Bell, headline number 5. Cryptocurrencies go gay with Maricoin. Tell me that you guys heard about this, because you know maricón in Spanish is, a slur. It's a homophobic slur. And I wasn't at the meeting where we took maricón back.
Or made it into money.
This story is ridiculous because it's super offensive. because, you know, whether you've been called this, in, you know, growing up, you know, then to have to, you know, face this as cryptocurrency now, and everyone's, you know, giggling and laughing about it, but it's not right. You know, it's making fun of, you know, a term that, you know, many of us have been called growing up.
And who's behind this? It was interesting to read.
There
this.
was we did the story yesterday on Queer News Tonight, and the company behind it is a big bank here based out of Miami, actually.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking if this helps, like, you know, LGBTQ companies or businesses in some way, shape, or form, then I'm all for it.
At a bare minimum, you know, they've talked about, you know, funding and providing sort of financial support to small LGBTQ, you know, businesses, you know, through this, and so they've at least, you know, it verbally made a commitment to invest in the community, but
it's just terrible.
Interesting,
branding. Bad
interesting
branding.
name.
Yeah.
You know, it's like call it fag books. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you? Come on.
Because
just
they're
make
probably
it
sitting
sense.
around drinking and they came up with Mary Coin. Oh, that's funny. It's Mary.
And then also, go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It's all right.
No, I said also I was seeing that even like their bank transfers, they're calling it trans.
Instead of a transfer.
Instead of a transfer.
Yeah, too much playing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ready for that yet. Next, first she kissed a girl, and she liked it. Now she's taking her over-the-top performances to Vegas, baby. Saved by the Bell headline number 6. Katy Perry's new Vegas residency shows she's the queen of camp.
She was on New Year's Eve also performing, and I thought it was fabulous. I said
Yeah.
I would, if I was in Vegas. I mean, she's an over-the-top performer, and the costumes alone are just fabulous. She's not a dancer, as we know, but she's,
No, but the costumes are always like just
Fabulous.
over the top. You know that there's LGBTQ behind the scenes big time helping her, right? Like,
she had those crushed cans on her boobs, and it was.
how about the poop in the toilet? I was like, what is this? I like it.
Yeah.
I've seen Katy Perry live also, and like it's a spectacle. The costumes, the music, the sets, like everything is just over the top. So this is really exciting, and hopefully I get to Vegas to go see it.
You know
She's
your
the
butt's
new
gonna
Lady
be in
Gaga.
that chair.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say,
I
Glenn?
said
Sorry.
she's the new Lady Gaga. You know.
Lady Gaga's still
Gaga's
around.
nobody.
She is still
Nobody
around.
is the new Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga is
Of
still
being
here.
over the top and going out there with the costumes, which is really how Lady
Glenn,
Gaga
you,
got her.
you can't tell 4 queers that Katy Perry is the new Lady
Right,
Gaga. You
not
can't
the
do
new
that.
Lady
Okay,
Gaga.
back in your time, let me think. Barbara
a little bit-
Streisand.
Oh my
Cher,
God!
like with the
Al's not here to
costumes.
defend me.
A variety
Al, where are you?
vibe, you know? She's interesting.
Hey, Katy Perry, LGBTQ plus community supports you. We will definitely be at your show for sure.
Yeah.
Finally tonight, we're the LGBTQ community, so that means sex. Yes, sex and relationships. Let's play another game. Our game asks, who would you do? And what would you do? To 3 different interesting people. Tonight, our game is Shag, Marry, Chop. And our theme is celebrating New Year's resolutions with sexy personal trainers that we will never see. So this week, we are going to play with Gabriel Bond, Clement Gament, and Dan Keswet. So let's play Shag, Marry, Chop. Let's start with you, Jeff. Who would you like to shag, marry, chop in that order? Don't try to kill them first.
Well, I think that I'll shag Gabriel.
Okay, why?
I liked his beard, so it's just my own personal preference. I was going to marry Dan. He looks like he can definitely pick up anything in the house I need him to move, so that would be a reason to marry him. So the last one gets chopped.
All right, okay. Okay, so Max, who do you feel? Who are you going to shag, marry, and chop?
Honestly, ditto. Exactly.
For the same reasons, you need things moved around in your house also?
I mean, I'm a capable person. I don't need that, but I just think that would be nice to have around.
Do you work out, Max?
Marginally.
That means no. All right, Cal, how about you?
So I'm gonna shag Clements.
Ooh.
Because look at him in those gray shorts, you know? I'm gonna marry Gabriel because I just saw a shot of him like dancing and he likes wine and stuff like that. So I think that would be really cute for date nights. And unfortunately, I'll have to chop Dan.
Boo, poor Dan.
Poor Dan.
All right, so Dan's gotten chopped across the board, right?
No.
No, they want
We're
You guys
married.
like
I'm
him.
literally marrying him.
No, literally marrying.
Yeah,
him.
we're in it for the long haul.
Glenn, how about you?
I am gonna marry Gabriel. For the same reasons. I just think he's looks classy when he's not doing that, and he looks hot when he is doing that. And Clement, I just like his flexibility. I think he'd be fun to shag. And then sadly, Dan has to be chopped.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever dated a personal trainer?
Yes.
Yeah, like, I mean, was it good? Did they put you into working out? Was it too much? Was it like, don't, you know?
No, it was great because you need that motivation, you get to go to the
life.
gym, but then sometimes it becomes too much because you want to do other stuff, and it's like, we got to go to the gym today. And I'm like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
And
I've chased after a lot of...
I have thought about hiring a personal trainer, not for training, but I've thought about hiring them.
So they can just walk around your house, like spray water on you so you look sweaty?
To miss
you? Something like that. All right, well, that was our game, Shag, Marry, Chop. And before we end the show, we want to introduce our sponsor. Jeff, show them some pizza.
Well, let me just show you this delicious pizza here.
Yes, that is pizza.
Good.
If you're ever coming to South Florida and you have to try the incredible pizza for the LGBTQ community, it is Jet's Pizza. We're getting ready to enjoy it right now. It is yummy. They've got a cauliflower crust one. They've got some incredible sandwiches. Their wings are to die for, and their cinnamon sticks. No, you can't have them. They're mine. All right. Thank you, Jet's Pizza. Well, that's it, America. Another week with you and the world's first and most popular LGBTQ plus talk show in the world. Before we sign off, let's hear from our host for one final good night. A final good night coming from Jeff.
Good night, everyone. Happy to be here. Happy 2020, and stay safe and stay happy.
Hey, goodbye from Max.
Good night, everybody. I hope you sleep well. I don't know. I'm so excited for 2022. I think that it's going to be a spectacular year, and I'm excited to see how we all spend it together.
Thank you, Mr. Fanning. And let me tell you, it is a joy to watch you on your crazy journey, little boy. You're hysterical. Mr. Cal.
Good night, America and the world. Hopefully we're able to put a smile on your face and make you laugh.
And the very dashing and sexy Mr. Glenn Weinzimmer.
The oldest man in the group today. Just be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I think that's the most important thing we should all do as we go into 2022.
I love that. Definitely. Be kind to each other. Is what you watched tonight important to you? You sat right here with us at the LGBTQ kitchen table, hanging out, talking about everything in the world. This is what we do here at Happening Out Television Network. And, you know, Queer News Tonight has been around for a couple of years, celebrating an anniversary here. Tell your friends. You know, if you're LGBTQ, you should be watching a network that relays all the news, all the entertainment, everything that has to do with our community. And that's what Happening Out Television Network is all about. Hey, it's got the new Faye What show coming up next week. Yes, Monday, 9 a.m.
Hey.
Make sure that you catch it. I am so beyond thrilled to be part of this network and to be representing the L in LGBTQ+. So we are here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. live. Don't forget Queer News Tonight daily at 8 p.m. and Hotspots Magazine, found throughout South Florida. And remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. Good night, America.